Okay, welcome to Kung Fu Advocate number 2. Facebook and Instagram are already on. I'm going to do Blindfold and Whirl the Sword. Let me state this at first and foremost, I don't recommend doing this at home under no circumstances whatsoever. Even with training, the blindfold can be dangerous and you can disembowel something. So I won't be doing anything fancy, so no one can go, oh, I saw James do this on Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, you saw me do this, but you also see this warning first. Okay, the reason why I'm pulling the sword out before I put the blindfold on is once I'm blindfolded, I'm literally gonna be blind. Again, blindfold training is good in movies, not so much in real life. Anything can happen, so you must be careful. You must be outstandingly careful. I do this at my own risk, but I also make sure I tell everybody else to not attempt to do this shit. So again, blocks, strikes, low, high, high. This thing's loose. Tighten it up. So, strike, 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 block, 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 block. Okay? Like I said, not gonna do anything fancy. Not at nighttime. There's little to no chance of getting help if I accidentally cut off my own damn arm. I'm sure you guys would enjoy that, but I'm pretty sure I won't. Because that shit would suck. Same thing with this damn stuck ass katana. And I just lost Facebook. Again, don't try this shit at home, man. We all want to go home in one piece. We all want you to be safe. So, basically the same shit. I know where the tip is at. Alright? So, high block left, high block right, low block left. That's a right, low block left. Alright? Which is also a strike. So, high strike, low strike, low strike, medium strike, medium strike. Alright? So you seen what those are. I'm not even gonna do those. Kidding. I'm more than likely just gonna do what you just saw me do with the other sword, which is whirl the son of a bitch. Always be careful with messing with swords so that you don't disembowel yourself. High, high, low, low, medium, medium, strike, boom, boom, boom. There's a reason why I didn't do anything fancy. As I said at the beginning, I'm not trying to get anybody hurt. I'm definitely not trying to get my damn self hurt. And there are some things even experts can fuck themselves up on. And that means you and me and everybody under the sun can get messed up. Now I'm gonna go and try and get another stick. Okay, so we have a cane, and we have my longest stick ever. Okay, so if I go any further with that, and Facebook's back by the way, before I go any further with that, you know, martial arts is my life, and Facebook just left. Martial arts is my life. It is what I do. It is who I am. It is what I am. And chasing the dream of becoming a martial arts superstar is still happening. It's just not happening in the fashion that I would prefer. But martial arts is a thing that a lot of people fail to understand. That martial arts isn't just an exercise. Martial arts is a way of life. It is everything that you do. It is everything that you are. And the longer you study, the more you get out. The more you put in, the more you get out. You have to understand it. You can't just do martial arts 1 week and say I'm a martial artist. No, this shit takes years. And even after years, you can become an expert and not a master, or you can become a master and not an expert. It's good to be both. It's good to have foregone knowledge of anything. And you should know that martial arts is in everything. Now, I'm not a fan of the black belt systems. I do not have a black belt. I have beaten some black belt cats, but hey, you know, a belt is only really to hold up your pants. People always say that. People always say that. I say, well, let me explain it to you. If you watched my live stream earlier, the one that didn't get cut out, or if you watched the one yesterday that did get cut out on Facebook or Instagram, whichever one I was doing, you have to actually be able to utilize the shit that you've learned. Most of us take martial arts because we love it, but also we want to make sure that we can handle ourselves. Some people get lucky and get professional jobs like in the UFC. My case, when the UFC was in existence and began, I only weighed 120 pounds, and they weren't taking those guys. They refused to take those guys. Same thing with Rex, same thing with Pride, which is why none of you know who the hell I am. All right? Now, on the foregone for real tip, once I got into the Army and got to 130 pounds, they were taking the guys as like 120, 125 pounds. Also, once I got in the Army, I was 37. That was way back in 2010. So you guys can do the math on my age now. So that being said, because I'm about to turn 37 really soon, excuse me, I'm about to be 47 really, really soon. I want to make sure that people, when they're watching martial art videos, they understand that there are good clauses and bad clauses, which is why I did that do not try shit. Because I don't want somebody to go home and they saw me do this shit, and then they go get a sword or a knife or a stick or a rock and get hurt. And then point back to me, be like, well, you know, we watched James do this. Yes, James has been doing this since he was 7 years old. He's also been taught by a few people, you know. My late master, Mr. Ennis, committed seppuku. And that was a long story way back in the 90s here in Charlottesville. So you guys can probably go Google that. So did you know I did go to Taekwondo school, and I took Naharate and stuff from there. So a lot of my kicks favor Taekwondo. I'm a Kung Fu guy all the way through. No, I prefer the animal styles. I prefer the Kung Fu styles. But there are thousands of martial arts styles. Understand that. Matter of fact, that was a misstep. There are millions of martial arts styles. There are things that I didn't even know existed because I didn't know the Philippines had martial arts. I didn't know Indonesia had martial arts. I only knew the 3 base Asian countries, which was China, Japan, and Korea, because those are the martial arts that I studied. But once I started learning about the Philippines and Indonesia, it's like, oh, okay. Now I knew about capoeira, and I know about the Polynesian martial art. I don't know the name of the son of a bitch, but I know it. So, just be careful when you're doing martial arts. Be careful when you're watching these videos. Be careful when you see people doing these things. And try your best to make sure that you go to a school that is got people who actually know what the hell they're doing, people who are going to work with you. Because if your teacher isn't willing to work with you as well as other people and like take that extra time to pull you off to the side to show you what you're doing wrong, you're not holding your fist right when you punch, you're not holding your foot right when you kick. But they also have to understand that your body doesn't work like their body. And that's the other thing before I get started. Nobody's body works exactly the same. Okay? So it's never going to look the same. That's why some martial artists' kicks look super funky, because their body's super flimsy. And that shit happens. I'm also against that holding your foot thing. I can show you better than I can tell you. Where your foot's this way. You can't see my leg. Okay. So when your foot's this way, I'm against that because in real life, you're not going to have time to watch your damn foot when you're fighting someone. And if you like the holding position stuff, that's more Taekwondo. Good for you. I no longer am allowed to do that shit. Hip replacement. All right, so there's my blindfold in my ass pocket. So we're gonna do the cane first. I'm gonna go blindfolded. I'm gonna explain the cane after I work this bitch out a little bit. All right. For those who are watching, again, do not try this at home. If I could like actually type that across the screen, I would, but I can't because I'm not tech savvy. All right, so you have a cane. It has a hook. Same shit I did with the umbrella last night or the night before. It's basically the same shit. You launch it, you hook it, you can grab them. So in other words, it would look like you hook them here, you pull them, and you come down this side of the cane, keeping your opponent to the outside for kung fu. If you're on the inside, you're mostly doing karate, but the problem with pulling them on the inside is that their whole other side is open to whooping your ass. So don't do that. Try to keep your opponent on the outside. So if they're over here and you're on the outside of them, they have to cross over to reach you. With this cane, though, you pulled them and you clocked them. Most cane fighting, I don't prefer you do that shit blindfolded, but I'm just going to whirl this thing and work it and teach you some shit. All right? So guy comes up, boom. Guy comes up, boom. Guy comes with a low kick, boom. Guy comes with a low kick, boom. Now there's many ways you can do that block. So if you know anything about blocking, that's that. Mid-range, boom. You know, so you can throw your knees in there. For those who took kickboxing and taekwondo as well as kempo and Muay Thai, you can always block like this. So boom. If anybody tells you you can't block with your thighs or your knees, get the hell out of their school. All right. So here we go. Whirling it. Oh, almost lost it. Oh, almost lost it again. That's why you don't fight blindfolded. Boom, 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 boom. Those are your front strikes. All right. It's pretty fast. Not so fast on the left side. Still doable, but not as controlled. So you want to work with your left side so your left side can be as good as your right. Also, don't want to get ahead of yourself. So with the cane, yeah, put on the ground, boom, 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 boom. You swing it from here. You want the hook not facing this way. You want it facing this way. So when you hook them, pull them, elbow them. Just hit my funny bone. Club swing, swing, sweep the foot. Boom, 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 boom. I hope I'm in front of the camera. Okay, I'm in front of the camera, but I'm not in where you guys can see anything that I was doing. That fourth tells you the blindfold is fucking real. Okay, so we'll get back to that in a minute. Alright, so I'm going to get the big stick now, which means I have to go back. I'm not going to do a lot of fancy whirling with the big stick just because it's long. It might help if I actually get the damn stick. So as you can see, top of the stick's up here. Yes, I'm on my tiptoes. I'm short. So here you go. Alright. Now the thing about fighting blind with the stick is, here's reality. Swing for the fences. If you have no choice, swing for the fences. In the movies, it's really simple and easy. But that's also because you're working with great stuntmen who not only are going to prevent themselves from getting hurt, but prevent you from getting hurt. As an actor, this is something you probably want to take into consideration. As a martial artist and an actor, you definitely want to take this into consideration because you're making a movie and you don't want to hurt your stuntmen and you don't want to get hurt by accidentally missing the mark. When you are actually blindfolded, this is a fucking concept that you should probably take into consideration. I'm going to have to take a couple steps back just because of how long this damn stick is. And once again, don't try this shit at home. For the sake of all that is holy. Now again, in reality, I'm going to tell you, the best thing you can do, you got this long ass stick, is to swing until you hit something. So, from here, I got that much range. From the side, I got that much range. Plus my arm. So if I want to go here, and do a mad sweep, everything in that path of this 6.5-foot stick is getting hit. If I go up, everything from my chest area, because I'm at mid-range, everything in this area is getting hit. Whether I go around in a circle, I just go here, thrust, here, 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 here. The thrust is very important with a bow staff. If anybody hasn't taught you that, then you probably want to get the hell out of their school. So hopefully I'm still facing the camera. You want to do whirling high assaults? I don't really recommend it while you have a bow staff on, while you blindfold, and while your hands are bound. I don't recommend it because that bitch slips down, boom. So if you're going up here and you're going here, notice I took that exceptionally slow because I suck at that shit. So there. Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you about it. I suck at rolling behind the back. I really suck at rolling behind the back. So I usually keep my fights simple. Boom, 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 boom. God, I hope I'm facing the camera. Boom, 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 boom. Take out this blindfold now. I have no idea where the hell I am. Okay, so I'm not facing the camera. Something's going on with Facebook. So that's that. And that. And go back. And go back. It's almost midnight, so we're gonna hurry up and wrap this up. So, same concept without the mask. Alright? So, your thrust, boom. Your range, boom, boom, boom. See, I don't have a lot of range. There. You're rolling it here. That thing can lose control and hit you in the face and hurt you. So let's work on your strikes. Upper left, upper right, down the back, down slice, back slice, swirl, slice, upper left, upper right, upper middle, down. That was awesome. Would have been great if that was behind me, right? Anyway, when you're working a staff that's bigger than you definitely want to train with this thing exceptionally hard. Now, as you can see, let's make this easier. You guys can see the light. From the ground. This might help. So like I said, I'm only 5'3". And this staff's at least a good 6'2". Do I recommend the long staff for anybody? Okay, let's be honest. If you're not a strong fighter but you're very good with the bow, I suggest the long staff or the monkey stick. Why? Because range is important when you're a horrible fighter. Right? Range is very important. We have one word for that and we like to use it. It's called safety. You know? From here, I got you dead to rights. Any way you come at me, you can't get past my defenses. So if you come low and I go low, like pike style, like jab with the pike, jab with the pike, jab with the pike going up, I got you as long as you can't get past my defenses with this. So if you come at me and we're majestic spearing, because yes, a lot of the peg technique also reflects with the majestic spear. For those who don't know, I do not have a majestic spear, but I can simulate that shit very well. I also don't have a pike, but I know how to work them. Let me give you a little tiny bit of advice. Okay? Great. It's midnight. I should have played that off and said, I read you Zordon. But here's how it works. Alright. For the most part, if you can work a bow staff, the majestic spear and the pike aren't much different. They just have a fucking blade at the end, which can impale you if you're not careful. Okay? So you're not going to do this with the pike or the majestic spear. One, they're too long. The majestic spear, you got a better chance of doing it because it's kind of flimsy, but that pike's not flimsy. The Kwon Do is not flimsy, and the freaking damn monkey stick, for the most part, depending on what you get, is kind of what you get. Sometimes they're flimsy, sometimes they're not. You have hard bows and soft bows as well, so you need to know what you're sharpening with. Now you see these sharp, fast motions? Those are for short, quick strikes and blocks. Again, it depends on the style that you choose to study. If you study a style that's brutal, like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or if you study an iron body technique, then you're good to go. Now as for the cane, let me give a quick demo before I cut this off. So when you're hooking someone and you're pulling them, you can give a knee. Or if you're hooking them and you can sweep their feet from under them. That's basically what the hook's for. So, you get hooked around your throat. If I had someone, I could have them actually do this. I can show you how to escape, because you have to be able to escape just as well as you know how to put someone in a move. You need to be able to get the hell out of the move. So someone's pulling you, they have the cane, and they're pulling you towards them. If they're on this side, they are open to your attack. If they're on this side, not so much. And again, it depends on the style of martial art they're using. If they're using Kung Fu, they're going to be on the outside. So they're going to be over here. They're going to be pulling you this way. So your best escape is, when they start pulling, is for you to try to do a foot sweep, because it's closer to them. If they try to jump, you try to block the staff. When you try to block the staff, you want to get the damn thing away from you. And more importantly, it's around your neck, so you want it to get off. And if they're pulling and you're resisting, that's why you're going to be moving, especially if they're stronger than you. So don't resist, and it comes off. Then you have your guard. Make sure that when they're locking, you put your arm here and you put your arm here, because their arms are going to be on here somewhere. So they're going to be yoking. If you can get your hand out, spin the hook and take it. Now you have their weapon. When you're taking it, you can put it back around their neck, pull, and directly bring a knee to this area. Or if you want to be brutal, bring them down and bring their heads down and your knee up. Do not use this knee because it's the more powerful knee, but use this knee because it's the closest knee. Boom! Alright, let me explain that, because I'm going to get a lot of compliments on that shit, and they're not going to be good compliments. Okay, if you want power, you use the torque of the further away instrument of destruction. Where if you just want to get it done, use the closer. Alright, the simple difference between Kung Fu and Karate is motion. Alright, I cannot stop Facebook. Okay, it won't record either, but I can't stop it. So we're just going to cut the sumbitch off. Bye-bye, Facebook. Alright, so let me explain that, because if you know Karate, then you know what I'm about to tell you. If you know Kung Fu, you also know what I'm about to explain. Alright, so with Kung Fu, it's simple motion, less used motion, great energy, direction, and projection. So that means guys coming, you block and you strike. Alright, so if he's throwing a punch this way, boom, boom, it's kind of like you're clapping and then you're sliding up the hand, or you're going into the gut. He's swinging a cane, so you're going to block and take it from them, unless he's pulling you towards him. Is that making any sense? If not, I'm sorry. That means either I'm messing up or you're not understanding what I'm trying to teach. So he's pulling you, and you got it from him. Now you're pulling him. Now, for Kung Fu purposes, this knee is the closest knee. Will it do maximum damage? Probably not. But it's also depending on how much torque you get when you're pulling. But this knee is the closest knee to your opponent. So for Kung Fu, you're going to use that knee. Now for Karate, if you really want to severely hurt your opponent and you're pulling him with this, you're going to bring in the knee that's the furthest away, because you're going to build up the most power, and that's going to do the most damage to this person. Now, it also depends on what escalated the fight, how the fight gets started, and how quickly you want to end the son of a bitch. So if you're doing this and you yoke him into your knee, you've done some damage. But if you do it this way and you yoke him into that knee, where you can do it with a twist and a torque, you're going to add more power to that. And if you're going to add more power to that, it's a good chance that you're going to do more damage to your opponent. I got to put my weapons up now, and I'm going to end this video for Kung Fu Havoc number 2, and I'm going to make one more video for Kung Fu Havoc number